Welcome to the Spy Collection. This is Anastasios, and today we'll review one more of the allegedly leaked US intelligence community documents from 2023. We are not in a position to comment on the authenticity of those documents, but they are an excellent learning tool, and if they turn out to be real, untampered intelligence products, they are also valuable historical espionage artifacts for our collection. That said, today we'll look at this DIA document, part of the US Joint Chief of Staff Global Highlights standing product. We have reconstructed it to be easier to navigate, so let's start. In the spy world, standing intelligence requirements refer to products like this that are produced in a recurring manner, primarily for situational awareness. In general, government leaders rarely get their news from media outlets. Instead, they rely on their spy agencies, and this is a great example. The DIA's Global Highlights, produced by the DIA for the J2, also known as Office for Security and Intelligence of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In terms of its classification header, the important part is the Special Intelligence marking, telling us that information in this report is also based on intercepted communications. Now, on the first topic, it's related to terrorism, and specifically that an ISIS senior leader was killed in Syria. As we read, on February 24th, the ISIS senior leader and global administrator Abu Sara al-Iraqi was reportedly killed in Syria. Abu Sara was the last known figure with at least 3 years of executive experience in ISIS and a direct connection to previous senior leaders. Since mid-2000, he led ISIS General Directorate of Provinces and influenced its strategy, personal assignments, and most sensitive global operations, and continues that Abu Sara joined ISIS' predecessor organization in 2005 and had advised senior ISIS leaders since at least 2018, including former caliphs. He provided attack guidance to ISIS' 36 branches and networks. Abu Sara directed financial transfers to regional offices for attack operations. In late 2021, he directed the transfer of $500,000 to ISIS in Afghanistan. Now, if a military leader didn't have the time to read all of that, they could just read the DIA's assessment, which was that Abu Sara's removal very likely will disrupt ISIS global cohesion, security, and financial transfers for at least the next 3 months. ISIS likely will rely on its archived institutional knowledge and a new leadership cadre who lack extensive relationships with the group's legacy senior leaders. On the right side, we have a photo of Abu Sara that we do not know where it came from. We have been unable to locate it in open source media, indicating that it's originating from a classified collection capability of the US intelligence community. It says, potential successors who work directly with Abu Sara include spokesman Abu al-Fida and senior Syria-based leader Hudhaifa al-Shami. And here we have the PCN to track this report, as well as who it was coordinated with. From the DIA, that was the DCT, the Office for Defense Counterterrorism, and the new integrated center of the DIA, the Middle East Africa Regional Center, that is responsible for all DIA operations in that region. Of course, it was then coordinated with various others including JSOC, NGA, NGIC, NSA, and so on. The next topic was related to China, and it was about LHA-31 completing its first operational activity. As we read, in late February, the PLA Navy's Yushen LHA-31 completed its inaugural naval activity after certifying in November 2022. Task Group 31 returned from the first Extended Area Deployment EAD of 2023. This was the first EAD to integrate an LHA and the first time an LHA exited the first island chain. That refers to this. Continues that the Yushen LHA is able to perform a variety of missions to include amphibious assault and humanitarian assistance disaster response operations. It has similar missions and loadout capacity as the Yuzhou LPD, but its larger flight deck and aircraft hangar decks enable to carry a much larger complement of helicopters. And Task Force 31 sailed as far east as the US territory of Wake Island and conducted multi-ship AD exercises and mission control drills. The DIA's assessment was that the PLA very likely will utilize the increased air support capability and extensive medical facilities of the USN LHAs in amphibious exercises throughout the 2023 training cycle. Additionally, LHA participation in EADs likely increases opportunities for the PLA to incorporate expeditionary and HADR training with lift support and equipment. And again, here is DIA's PCN, and that it was produced by the DIA's China Mission Group in coordination with the US Military Indo-Pacific Command. On the right side, we have a publicly available image of that PLA Navy vessel along with some information about its capacity added by the DIA analysts. And that was this Global Highlights DIA report that became publicly available in mid-2023. If you search on mainstream media, you'll see that there was almost no mention of either of those events. Only some subject-specific websites briefly mention those, and again, not with that level of detail and confidence. This is a nice practical example showing why leaders rely so much on their spy agencies to understand the world, and sometimes change it too. Unfortunately for us, the way this intel report was produced gives us no real indication into the sources and methods used to collect that intelligence. Nonetheless, it showed us how DIA's Global Highlights intelligence products look like, showing the quality of DIA's work and how nothing is as it seems.